Hare Krišna. A preberem?
Levo. Da so pismorice.
Hvala. Je dobro, to je velik. Hare Krišna. Šri Damodar Aštaka. Podoba vsevišnjega Gospoda je utelešenje večnosti, znanja in blaženosti. Njegovi uhani v obliki morskih psov nihajo sem ter tja. Ta Gospod čudovito blesti v božanski gokuli. Najprej je razbil vrč, v katerem je njegova mati pinila jogurt za maslo, potem pa je ukradel maslo, ki so ga v shrambi hranili obešenega pod stropom. Zaradi te porednosti je v strahu pred materjo Jašodo urno pobegnil stran od lesenega možnarja, vendar ga je mati na koncu le ujela, saj je tekla hitreje. Temu vsevišnjemu Gospodu Šri Damodari izkazujem ponižno spoštovanje. V strahu prečiva v materini roki joče, z lotosovima ročicama pa si spet in spet mane oči. Oči so mu polne strahu okoli vratu, ki ga krasijo 3 črte, pa spominja na školjko, pa nosi biserno ogrlice, ki se od hitrega dihanja ob njegovem joku trese. Temu vsevišnjemu Gospodu Šri Damodari, ki okrog trebuščka ni zvezan z vrvmi, temveč s čisto ljubeznijo svoje materje, izkazujem ponižno spoštovanje. Z otroškimi zabavami, kot je ta, prebivalce Gokule utaplja v oceanu ekstatičnih čustev. Tistim baktam, ki so zatopljeni v znanju v njegovem veličastju in obilju, daje vedeti, da ga lahko osvojijo le bakte, katerih ljubezen prepaja zaupnost in ne hromi strahospoštovanje. Spet z veliko ljubeznijo 100-krat in 100-krat izkazujem spoštovanje Gospodu Damodari. O Gospod, čeprav lahko podariš vse vrste blagoslovov, te ne prosim, da me blagosloviš z brezosebno osvoboditvijo, niti ne z najvišjo osvoboditvijo, večnim življenjem na Vajkunti, niti ne s katerokoli drugo ugodnostjo, ki jo dobimo za upravljanjem 9 metod bhakti. O Gospod, želim si le, da se tvoja podoba Bale Gopale iz Vrindavane zavedno naseli v mojem srcu. Kakšna je korist od katerega koli drugega blagoslova? O Gospod, mati Jašoda znova in znova poljublja tvoj lotosov obraz, obdan s kodri mehkih črnih las z rdečim nadihom. Tvoje ustnice so rdečkaste kot sadež bimba. Naj ta čudovita slika tvojega lotosovega obraza zavedno vstopi v moje srce. Na tisoče drugih blagoslovov mi nič ne pomeni. O vsevišnji Gospod, izkazujem ti ponižno spoštovanje. O Damodar, o Ananta, o Višnu, o Gospodar. O Gospod, bodi zadovoljen z mano. Blagoslovi me svojim milostnim pogledom in odreši tega ubogega nevedneža, potopljenega v ocean materialnega gorja. Pokaži se pred mojimi očmi. O Gospod Damodar, ko dojenček z vrvjo privezan k lesenemu možnarju, si sinova Kuvere, Manigrivo in Nalakuvaro osvobodil narodovega prekletstva in jo povzdignil v velika bhakti. Prosim te, daj tudi meni svojo prima bhakti. Hrepenim samo potem in si ne želim nobene oblike osvoboditve. O Gospod Damodar, naj najprej izkažem spoštovanje bleščeči, sijajni vrvi, ki veže tvoj trebušček. Nato izkazujem spoštovanje tvojemu trebuščku, v katerem leži ves univerzum. Ponižno se priklanjam tvoji najdražji Šrimati Radharani in izkazujem spoštovanje tebi, vsevišnjemu Gospodu, ki uprizarjaš neštete zabave. Vsa slava Šrimati Radharani in Damodari Gospodu Krišni. Namamishwaram Satchitanandarupam Lasat kundalam gokule vrajamanam Namamishwaram Satchidanandarupam Lasat kundalam gokule vrajamanam Yashoda biyolukala-davamanam Paramrishtamatyantato gopyam Rudam tamuhurnetra yugmam brijanta Karamboja yugmena satanka netram Muhushvasakam patrirekanga kanta Stitagraivam damodaram bhakti-badam Iti driksvalila virananta kunde Svagosham nimajantam akyapayantam Shitagyeshu bhaktarjitatva Puna prematastam satavrittivande Varam moksham na mokshavadim va nachanyam vrineham vareshadapiha idam teva Sada me manasya virastam kimanyai Idam te mukambojam atyanta nilai Vritam kuntalaik snigdha raktascha gopya lakshalabai. Namo Deva Damodarananta Vishnu Prasida Prabho Dukha Jalabdi Magna. Kripa Drishti Vrishtyati Dinam Vatano Griha Neshama Magya Medyakshidrishya. Kuveratma Jovadha Murtyaiva Yadvat Vaya Mochito Bhakti Bhajo Krito Cha. Tatha Prema Bhakti Svakame Prayacha Namokshe Graho Mesti Damodareha. Namaste Sudamne Spuradipti Damne Tvadiyodaraya Tha Vishwasya Damne. Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaya Namo Nanta Lilaya Devaya Tubhyam. Namamishvaram Sachitanandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Vrajamanam. Yashoda Biyoluka Ladavamanam Paramrishtamathyanta Todrutya Gopyam. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Damodara, Radha Damodara, Radha Damodara, Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Damodara, Radha Damodara, Radha Damodara, Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Damodara, Radha Damodara, Radha Damodara, Shri Radhe. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada. Shri Radha Damodara ki jai.
Namaste Saraswati Deve Kauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Shunyavadi Paskatyade Satarine. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayam Vishnupad Paramhangsa Brahmadakacharya Asadhara Sadushi Shiman His Divine Grace Shalesi Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Gaur Premanande Haribo Slava Zarani Bhakta Slava Shri Guru Shri Gaurangi Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya. Yeah. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya. What's that? Well, I guess, yeah. Om Agyanatimanandasya Gananjana Salakaya Chaksur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagradatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Pradana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shiva Sakans Vitamscha Hey Krishna Karna Dindo Dinabando Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishubhanu Sudadevi Pranamami Hri Priye Vanchakapa Trubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyevacha Patidanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Pranitananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 13, Nature of the Enduring Consciousness, text number 32. I think I read 33. I don't think you've had many Bhagavad Gita classes lately. A month ago I read 32. So this is Bhagavad Gita as is chapter 13, Nature of the Enduring Consciousness, text number 33. Ita sarvagatam sokshmad akasham nopalipyate sarvatravastito dehe Tatatma no palipyate Ita sarvagatam sokshmad Akasham no palipyate Sarvatravastito dehe Tatatma no palipyate. Ladies. Ita sarvagatam soshmyad akasham no palipyate sarvatravastito dehe tatatma no palipyate yata as sarvagatam all-pervading. Sokshmyat, due to being subtle. Akasham, the sky. Na, never. Upalipyate, mixes. Sarvatra, everywhere. Avastitaha, situated. Dehe, in the body. Ita, so. Atma, the self. Na, never. Upalipyate, mixes. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The sky, due to its subtle nature, does not mix with anything, although it is all-pervading. Similarly, the soul, situated in Brahman vision, does not mix with the body, though situated in that body. Purport: the air enters into water, mud, stool, and whatever else there is, still it does not mix with anything. Similarly, the living entity, even though situated in varieties of bodies, is aloof from them due to his subtle nature. Therefore, it is impossible to see with the material eyes how the living entity is in contact with this body and how he is out of it after the destruction of the body. No one in science can ascertain this. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutaya Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharane Nirvishesha Srinivadi Bhaskatyade Satarane. 7th chapter, actually. 7. So here in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling us that we don't really have any problems. The only problem is that we think we have problems. But that's a big problem. Because Prahlad Maharaj said that in this world there's no enemy except for the uncontrolled mind. So if our minds are not fixed on in Krishna consciousness, then we think we have a lot of problems, and indeed, all those problems that we think we have are problems for us. Problems for us in the sense that, just like at night, if you're dreaming that a tiger has come and is eating you, it's a problem. Not that the tiger's eating you, but it's a very bad, unpleasant experience being eaten by a tiger, even in a dream. So that's a problem. And if you spend your whole existence being eaten by tigers, that's a problem. Because you probably have better things to do than being eaten by tigers. So the material world exists as a dream for the soul, as more or less a fantasy for the soul, where the soul takes on different roles due to the different bodies and imagines that he's in some kind of drama where he's the central or she's the central hero or heroine in the drama, and everyone else are supporting actors. And everything else is a paraphernalia for the stage, for the drama that we're playing. Unfortunately, this particular drama is not very pleasant. Even on the highest planet, it's said where Brahma has the position where he's controlling seemingly everything except for his longevity. Because the time, after 311 trillion, 40 billion years, he has to die like everyone else. So that's a problem. Because then you have to come back. And it is said in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that at one time we were all Brahmas, or highly placed demigods. And now we're here in Slovenia. Who would have thought that if you are on the top of the universe, controlling everything, one day you'd be working 9 to 5 in Ljubljana? Who could have imagined that? Everything seemed to be going our way, except for time. So that's what we have to pay if we want to believe that we are this body. On the other hand, Krishna is giving us an opportunity to understand things from a different point of view. That we're the consciousness within the body and we're eternal, but we have the capacity to pervade the entire body with our consciousness. More or less. Most of us don't pervade very well this body. When I was studying to become an Iyengar yoga teacher, which took me around 15 years to get certified, then his idea, Mr. Iyengar's idea, was that the purpose of life is to become all-pervading in your body. Which is not exactly our goal of life. Because we're already all-pervading, but we're not so sensitive to every part of our body. Therefore, for that reason, we have a hard time sitting up straight. Because we don't even know where our spine is. So they'll spend their whole life learning how to sit up straight and then die like the rest of us. So we pervade the body with our consciousness, and because we don't know where the body is at most of the time, we don't know how to utilize it properly. We don't know if we're straight, we're crooked, we're forward, we're backward, we're up or down. We don't know where we are. And therefore, after a while, the body reciprocates with our ignorance and pays us back with pain and suffering and all kinds of other nice things. But that's not the goal of life. Actually, the material world is meant for suffering so that we become inspired to get out of it. But to get out of it is not sufficient. We have to know where we're supposed to be going. Now, fortunately, somehow or another, we've come in contact with Bhagavad Gita and with Krishna consciousness. And we've been given the simplest process possible to become conscious of Krishna, namely just to chant Hare Krishna. The only problem is we don't believe in Krishna that much. That there's actually a planet made out of a lotus flower. And that it's so big that all the Vaikuntha planets can fit into it. And there are unlimited Vaikuntha planets, and every Vaikuntha planet is bigger than the whole material creation. And in the material creation, there are unlimited material universes, of which we're in one of the unlimited trillions of universes, and we're in the smallest one, in one little speck of that universe called Jambudvip. In one little speck part of Jambudvip called Bharatvarsha, in one little part of Bharatvarsha called Europe, in one little part of Europe called Slovenia, which is really a small part of Europe, and one little small part of Slovenia called Ljubljana, and one little small part of Ljubljana called Zervantov. What's that? Zervitova. And one little part of Zervitova, 27 to be exact. What's that?
Nice work.
And one little part of that, we're sitting here occupying a little space, and we think we're controlling everything in the universe. Everything. We want to be the center. Luckily, there is someone who's the center. His name is Krishna, and he has his friends like Srimati Radharani. And if we want to understand them, then gradually Krishna can help us. But first of all, we have to realize that our present circumstance, as temporary as it is not the end of the story. At least not it's not necessarily the end of the story. It could be the beginning of a very nice story where we go back to the spiritual world, or at least we try to go back to the spiritual world, and we actually gradually, Krishna reveals himself, and we find out we're eternal to begin with, and that Krishna is with us all the time, guiding us as a super soul, and that he's waiting for us as the unlimitedly beautiful, loving, powerful personality of Krishna. And we have a relationship with him, a very happy, loving relationship with him eternally. We become Krishna's devotee, and Krishna is so great, he becomes the devotee of his devotee. What a nice relationship. We become Krishna's devotee, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes our devotee. Could you imagine that? No, that's the problem. We can't imagine it. We can try to imagine it, though. That's what our whole process is. To develop experience in that understanding. But we have to become a little interested in following the process, and then Krishna will encourage us as much as we become interested in following the process. And then gradually Krishna will help us simultaneously get out of this understanding that what I'm experiencing through this body is everything. Or that what I'm experiencing through the body is the maximum experience I could have. Rather than just a temporary, limited experience due to my conditioned nature. But if we follow the process, we chant Hare Krishna, we try to pay attention, we try to see others as spiritual beings. Specifically, we try to see Krishna and try to serve Krishna's mission, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. And he had only one mission, a very simple mission. He wants people to hear about Krishna, that's all. And if we serve that mission, somehow or another, help people hear about Krishna, and try to cooperate, which is the difficult thing, with others who are supposed to also try to help people hear about Krishna. Learn how to live in a family where everyone has the same interest, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's interest. And be willing to sacrifice for that interest to help the innocent people, ourselves and other innocent people, become aware of Krishna and their relationship. And then to defeat the atheistic propaganda that there is no God and that the purpose of life is to become less than an animal. And indeed, people will become less than an animal in their next lifetime. So if we just have enough faith that we should work for this mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and set aside our differences, then this mission will be successful, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to force it to be successful, one way or the other. People have become so crazy that either you go on the side of sanity or you go on the side of complete madness. So that's our choice. Either we believe all the nonsense that's going on in the world, or we take seriously the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and try to distribute it to others, and therefore get Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, so that we realize we're eternally servants of Krishna. The more we try to serve Krishna's, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission of bringing his other children back to the spiritual kingdom, and as Prabhupada wrote to me then, the more he'll bestow all his blessings upon us. That Krishna is never ungrateful for efforts to serve him, rest assured. Of course, we also have to try to chant Hare Krishna, and we also have to serve the deities. We have to do everything we're telling everyone else to do, otherwise we won't know how nice it is. So when we tell people how nice it is to serve Krishna, the deities, how nice they are, or how nice the holy name is, or how nice the devotees are, or how nice living in a spiritual atmosphere is, or how nice these books are. Unless we experience how nice they are, it's very difficult to tell people how nice they are, for them to believe us. As Prabhupada used to say, we go out and distribute books, and we say, here, take this book. Why should I take the book? Have you read it? No, I don't have time to read it. I only have time to distribute it. But they told me to come out here and distribute it, so please take it, because I'll be embarrassed if I don't distribute enough books today. So you must help me. Please help me. Save my false prestige. It's the only thing I have. They took everything else away from me. Help me. Now we should know how wonderful this philosophy is. And if we accept the vision and we act according to it, then Krishna will reveal himself. He's just waiting for us to show a little bit of sincerity. Then he's willing to reveal everything that's necessary to become Krishna conscious. Gradually, it's a gradual thing. It's one revelation after another. But every revelation is like a relief from ignorance. So we can become free from our real enemies. Our real enemies are not Russia or the Ukraine or our next door neighbors. The real enemy is lust, anger, greed, and then illusion, and then madness and envy. These are our real enemies. And the only way of getting out of free from them, is to take seriously Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his movement. So I'll stop there thinking. Any questions or comments? Happy Dhammarastika, Kartik. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande.